Hello and welcome to the Industry Podcast. My name is Corey. I'm joined by my co-host Blake. And the Industry Podcast is your source for industry interviews, insights, and inside stories. How's your week, Blake?
Been pretty good, actually.
Pretty good? What'd you do?
I worked Monday to Thursday. Unfortunately, my softball team and I lost a game of 3-28, so lost by 25 runs.
Oh,
But
wow.
But we were going against the former champions after all, so.
Oh, really? So it was the underdog team against some champions. That sounds like the beginning of a feel-good sports movie versus the end.
Oh yeah.
So that means you guys are on track to beat them in the third act.
Hopefully.
So just keep playing, man.
Oh, and
yeah. What else happened? I know you got your documentary. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Putting together a documentary called Coming Out on Top of Disability, and it'll be about being successful in independent living, their careers, and dating.
Beautiful. And that's for everybody with disabilities or just people with Asperger's?
Everyone with disabilities.
Okay.
That's what I told Kristen.
All right. And is Kristen going to be part of it? Are you going to be part of this thing?
I absolutely am. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
I really like what Blake's putting out and his whole idea behind it. That's really awesome. I feel like it's going to help a lot of people too.
Coming out on top with disabilities. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love the name. It just
Very
has like
unique.
this happy
It's
vibe behind it, you know? It has this like feel behind it of like just a feel good movie and documentary at the same time, you know?
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Today on the podcast, we have Kristen Cole, a.k.a. Awesome Actor. I believe we met you on the set of one of Gavea's films, right?
Routine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody was so kind and so fun. I remember that. I was scared. I was like...
Are you pretty scared? Don't be scared.
I was scared
family.
because, I just got into acting in the last 2 years, and it was out of nowhere.
So how did you get on the set? Did you reach out to Jim or did you just get him in the comments of one of your guitar videos there?
No, so I had been in acting classes for about a year, and I was auditioning for things, but I didn't really feel ready yet because I was still a training. I didn't know. I just didn't feel like I was ready. But then I saw. I don't know if you use Backstage. I'm sure you know what Backstage is.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw Jim post something on there for Routine. I wanted to be a part of it anyway. If it was background, extra, 1 line, 5 lines. I just wanted to get experience on a set.
Yeah.
Getting used to terminology, getting used to crew and like all that stuff. And even though it wasn't like a huge role, I think that actually helped me get more stuff that I have now and feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like that type of set is perfect for beginners because in my experience it wasn't quite a total amateur set and it wasn't quite professional. It was like this really happy middle ground, which is actually a rare thing. It's a rare thing that you see it. For me, I worked on a whole bunch of different student sets, renting out equipment and kind of just being the pseudo teacher on set and teaching kids how to which lens they should use for their scene, and all they got is a script, and they say, okay, you need this, this, and this to do it. So there's that whole world, and then there's this middle ground. Jim's kind of doing everything on his own. He's not really connected to a school, and he's not really in the festival circuit yet. So it really is this huge push in that in-between time. So it's the perfect time to learn on set. We definitely had some seasoned workers on set that kind of bring that vibe with. So I'm flattered that you had that feeling on set because at the end of the day we're all just people, But if we bring that effort, to set, it really does change the vibe and get everybody interested into making it something amazing.
Yeah, I think so because, like I said, I didn't know how it was going to be when I got there. And when I saw how friendly everybody was, I think it made it easier for me just to be myself. And what I took away from that day is, okay, not only did I have a lot of fun, I made friends that I can work with in the future. I mean, I met you guys, I met Hannah, Gabby, Jim, Isaiah, pretty much everyone. And they were all so sweet and so kind. I think I have everyone on social media still. I like to keep up with what everyone's doing. They're all doing really great stuff. And like I said, that helped me realize, oh, I can have confidence to go and audition for a ton of more projects.
Absolutely.
So I remember,
do it.
Yeah, I remember leaving, and immediately I was just auditioning for, stuff after stuff after stuff, and I landed like a extra role on Walker. I'm not sure if you know what it is.
I've actually been an extra on Walker. It's a good time.
Did?
Sweet.
And I
it's
think
such
that
an experience. It's like a theme park.
It is, but I think that helped a lot too. Like you go from, a set like, routine.
Yeah.
And then to like a CW show. And even if you're just like a small extra on there, everything's different. I learned so much from just that 1 week of being there.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for that too.
That's incredible. Congratulations on getting that. And I believe, what did you get through Vicky Boone? Did she get you on set?
She did.
She's the best. Vicky Boone and Michael Druck. They're both like casting people in Austin. They're really amazing.
Do you remember what episode you did?
I don't know. I think it was somewhere around season 2 back in April.
Back in April.
I know they're shooting season 2, so it was probably the first. I think they started. We were on day 60 something out of 100 and I don't know. I have no idea what season it was or episode or anything like that. I've been on film sets a little bit, and I kind of get where extras are as far as like what they need, and they don't tell you anything. You're what they say is you're a prop who eats is the lingo from the crew.
Well, I met a lot of friends on there too, and someone in my class, you might know her. She actually works as a I forgot the exact terminology. You might know where they like kind of fill in for them before they start filming.
Like a stand-in?
Stand-in, yes, a stand-in. She's a stand-in for I think a main character. Her name's Caitlin. She has like reddish hair. I don't know if you've met her, but she's always there. She was working.
I don't know if I met her. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I mean the friends I met there, I still talk to on a weekly basis, and that's good for connections in the future too. Absolutely.
Yeah, film sets are incredible networking areas, especially the extras area on professional sets and international sets like that. You just get like 8 to 12 people who love film, who are in theater, who are doing something filmmaking related, and then this is just a day that something they were working towards. So yeah, definitely the type of people that sign up to be extras are incredibly amazing networkers, and just the right people to know. You never know what you're working on and how well it could fit into somebody else's project.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious. So what got you into acting, and what else are you into? I see the guitar stuff playing online. I love it. I love that stuff. It's so cool to see you doing that. You got to come into the studio and play a show for Paradox. We'll live stream it for you, because I would love to see that
What's
happen.
up, Paradox?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. The only pyrotechnics we could do is like some sparklers.
That would be spectacular.
I graduated college, and I actually was majoring in film for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't graduate with film, but I was in film for a long time, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You get to make your own projects, like your own music videos, own movies. You learn how to use a green screen for the first time. And I was just soaking all of that in. And I also was like, I kind of want to start acting now after learning, all this stuff in film. But ultimately, I didn't go with film because I was like, I probably won't make money off it. I was in that mindset of, I should probably find something I'll make more money with. So I graduated with marketing, but in the back of my head, I was like, I still want to do something with filming or acting along those lines. So got my degree. And just out of the blue, I think when COVID started, that helped me a little bit more get out there. I was like, I'm going to start acting classes. I'm going to get myself into shape. I'm going to start auditioning for things. I'm going to practice at least one monologue a day. And I think that's what helped me a lot. That's one tip I learned, is to practice at least one monologue a day to help for memorization and all that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it went from there. I have a really good acting coach. His name's Glenn Morshower.
Glenn Morshower. Okay. We'll have to have him on the podcast at some point. I don't know.
Totally.
I think he would love that. Yeah, he plays a lead in a Fox show called The Resident. I don't know if you've heard of it.
The Resident. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet.
He's in the Transformer movies. He's like he plays. I haven't actually seen the Transformer movies, but he plays like a general authority figure.
Okay.
I'm sure, like, if you saw his face, you would probably recognize him. He's in Star Trek, the old Star Trek.
Excuse me one moment. I got to grab the charger. I don't want to lose you here.
So as far as acting goes, do you consider yourself beginner still, or intermediate, or what?
I feel like the level I'm at right now is definitely intermediate. I feel like I'm past beginner just because of the work I've been putting in personally, and practicing every single day. Even my acting coach can tell from the time I started to now. He knows I should be going after probably more things than I have. I struggle a lot with like how I look and like body issues, and I think that because of that, it keeps me from auditioning for more things. So I'm trying to have more self-confidence to audition for more things, but I know I'm at the level where I could in my acting, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was the question you asked?
Yep. I had asked her if she was still a beginner or an intermediate, or as far as acting, like what level she was at.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're an incredible actor. I think you could. I think you could easily land something especially with your guitar skills. Something with actors.
Like a rock star movie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
definitely better than I am.
What's that high school dance movie? There's like 100 of them. High School Musical.
I love that movie.
I think you could be in the High School Musical in some aspect. It just kind of fits that that pop punk teenager feel of hanging out in your bedroom playing guitar. Like, it's such a cool image.
Yeah, I've been told from my acting coach and people in my class, they always say this, all of them. I do a lot of like serious scenes or like dry humor scenes. Mm-hmm. And like, I know I'm smiling right now, but usually I'm like very serious and like talk like this. And like in my scenes, yeah. And they're just like, you would play like a perfect Aubrey Plaza. Like, I don't know if you know Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
They're like, you would
she's a
play,
master
like,
of that.
They were like, you should do like dry humor, like an Aubrey Plaza type of show. I was like,
I could see it.
You get typecasted. Yeah. I would love to do that. That's something even if it's something that I make of my own, I would love to do that.
Yeah. Do you have aspirations to do other aspects of film? Do you have interest in anything behind camera, or are you just just actor 100% of the time. Because I know a lot of, I guess in Hollywood, a lot of people move into directing eventually or producing or writing.
Yeah, I see a lot of actors move into producing or directing their own movies. I think that would be really cool to do because I feel like there's so many creative ideas, and as an actor, you can act it out. You can bring that character to life, but you're not really making the film. So that's something I would want to do. I would want to put something together of my own. And I think, do you know who Wes Craven is?
I do, yeah.
Okay, rest in peace, Wes Craven. But I have pictures of like Wes Craven, Ghostface all in my childhood bedroom. And he got me into horror movies and wanting to make my own. And so I would be like 15, 16 with my phone, like making my own little horror movies, like putting it in some crappy iPhone app, editing it. But
that's a different world. That's a different world growing up and editing on your phone and humble beginnings of a filmmaker.
Or like Windows Media Maker. I remember that. I had
it's
my
incredible what you can do with phones nowadays. It's an editing suite now. You can do anything.
Yeah, and your phone's 4K. That's crazy.
Like, yeah.
That's insane.
More or less, yeah.
But I got my first DSLR and I think I was like 15. I was like, okay, because I don't think they didn't have the 4K iPhone, so I was using that DSLR. I was like, okay, these videos are about to be really good quality. I thought I was going to make like a blockbuster hit.
Yeah.
It was probably like not even mediocre at best, but I thought it was amazing.
Do you still have it? Is it online anywhere?
I probably have it like on YouTube, like saved on like private somewhere. I'm going to have to find it and like show it to you.
Yes.
But Wes Craven, I remember, I mean, he had My Soul to Take, Last House on the Left, all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, all the Scream movies, which are my absolute favorite.
Scream is fantastic. Have you seen Scary
telling Blake,
movie?
I actually have a Ghostface scrunchie on right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's up? I like the Scary movie version.
I was like, what's that?
It's so good. It's such a great, satire. But what I really enjoy is those satire movies that, they essentially take like a group of movies over the year, and they take little aspects of each one, and just make it hilarious and absurd and stupid. And they haven't released them in a while, but Scary Movie kind of started that, and those are great. Those are so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I know they just made a Scream 5 that's coming out.
Are you gonna go see it? Are you gonna go see it in theaters? Are you still? Have you ever gone to theaters?
Oh, I love to go to the movies. It has to be at least once a week, once every other week. Like I love going to the movies,
really?
And it's sad that so many theaters have gone bankrupt because they're all being put on like Disney Plus or HBO Max.
Yeah, the streaming is taking away from watching a movie on a 40-foot screen and surround sound and.
But it's not the same. Maybe I want to spend $50 on popcorn and go see that. Well, now movies are expensive. They're like $20 for a ticket.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like Studio Movie Grill are the ones with the reclining seats. I don't know if they have that in Austin, but I mean, here they have that and they're expensive.
Yeah, they have them everywhere. The reclining seats are in like every theater. Like it's rare to find the regular seats now, and I love it. I went to theaters during the height of COVID last year in 2020, and I've told this story before, but I was watching this movie called Possessor, which is like a really, really good horror movie.
I feel like I've heard of it.
But yeah, it's the son of a really famous director, and this movie's amazing, very tightly directed. The story is intense. The imagery is fantastic. And there's this really like graphic moment. I won't spoil it, but it's just like he's like, I don't know, like digging his eye. There's this big fight, and he's digging his fingers into this dude's eyes. So it's like really terrifying moment. And all of a sudden, somebody in the theater coughs, and it's me and like two other people, and we're spread way out. Somebody in the theater coughs laughs out loud, and that takes me out of the movie, and I'm like, oh shit, like killer's in the room.
You get so into it, you start to believe it.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, that's like the best. That was the most horrific part of that film. Is like somebody in the room with me coughing. It was like, oh shit, where am I? But yeah.
Oh yeah,
no,
well now they
I
have it
love
where
going to
it's like,
films.
yeah, now they have it where it's like no one can sit next to you, behind you.
It's
or in
nice,
front
right?
of you. I mean, yeah, it's nice. I don't know if it will ever go back to normal.
You get
for a long time.
you get 3 cup holders instead of half of one.
Yeah, I could put like my purse, my jacket, everything. next to
Exactly.
me. You can put your feet out and not hit people. That's kind of cool.
Exactly. And that they brought the front row back. I sit in row C now because you recline back and you just get this perfect image of the film, you know. And like there's this area where there's this the theater I go to. There's this like I don't know, like a cement barrier between the front 2 rows and the 3rd row, and the recliner only goes up probably about like that, so your feet are stretched out a little bit. So you can, if you're tall like me, you can stretch your legs all the way out and rest on the little. So you're like fully reclined. It's freaking nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a great time. That's so cool that you go to
movies.
You go to theaters like every week. That'll get expensive. I'd say I go like once or twice a month.
Spending problem. And popcorn's like $20, and if you want like a margarita or something, that's like another $40. So
what?
It's intense.
Yeah.
It's intense. Yeah.
The alcohol is crazy expensive at the movies.
I don't get why they would charge that much just for snacks.
I know
because
why.
they know people will buy them.
Well, it's that, and
it's not because of COVID, is it?
Their money off concessions.
Yeah.
So they make part of it on holding the movie in the theater. They make a very small percentage, but most of their profit to sustain the business is from popcorn and stuff. So that's why it's like the extra price. And also, it's like the whole experience. Like I love going to the movies, and I'll pay the extra for the popcorn and just
for
have
the
that experience
in general. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a cheap date anymore. I feel like back in the day, if you wanted to go on a date to the movies, like it was so cheap. But like now, the girl's like, I want candy, I want popcorn, I want a pretzel, a pickle, and you're gonna end up spending like $200 on snacks.
That's intense. Yeah.
Hey,
I'd
but
be
if
like,
the
no,
girl
pay for
wants
your
the
own
pretzel,
pickle.
get it.
Yeah, you want to impress her in any way you can.
Yeah.
Get her that popcorn, get her that pretzel if she'll want it.
I don't know about that. If a girl's impressed only by my wallet, I mean, I'd run out at full sprint.
Well, she loves you, but she might love you even more if you get her a pretzel.
Yeah, because the boyfriend always pays for everything, basically.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. When I go on dates, I always split it, or like in the past, like I've taken turns like paying before. I feel like that's
in the name of equality and progressiveness.
In the name of it's 2021. We want to be treated equally. We're big girls. We can pay for ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not gonna force you into a gender role. But you pay for your shit.
Oh, that's funny.
No,
I
totally get that. Yeah, theaters are expensive for a good reason. I think it's only going to go up because of the streaming platforms and things like that. But
definitely going to go up, but also because COVID, I guess it settled down for a little bit. People weren't freaking out as much, but now everyone's freaking out, I guess, because of the Delta. Is it the Delta variant? It's like a new strain of it. So everyone's freaking out again. And I think, in order to not go out of business, they're going to have to raise their prices a little bit. Maybe, I don't know anything about economics or anything. That's just what I think in my head.
Sure.
Because all these movie theaters went out of business during COVID. So it would make sense if they raised their prices. You know,
it's good to go to as a good refresher, because we all been in quarantine for over a year, is go to an actual theater play, like a theater RE play, with people on stage.
Yeah.
That's refreshing and so cathartic, just to go into a room and watch a play and just be like, hey, there's people again, not, hating their life. They're on stage. We're in, I think I
They've
watched
worked
Midsummer
hard.
Night's Dream. So we're in this castle in this medieval time, and that's the setting and that's the feeling. And I feel like theater just amplifies that experience that a film does as well, especially if your taste is in things that are less VFX heavy. That being said, I love CGI and I like studying it, but yeah,
Right.
I can still sit down and watch a slow burner, as they call them, and be totally entertained. I love all of it.
Yeah, I think film and theater, they are obviously very different types of acting, very types of different work that goes into both of them. They're very different. So I guess it is a little bit refreshing and different to go see like a Broadway or a musical or a ballet. And I know like in Houston, they have like the big Nutcracker show that people go to.
Oh, is that
Um,
right?
and Christmas time. I don't know if that's everywhere, but they have like downtown Houston, like the big alley theater. Um, they
I
do
wonder
the
if
nut.
that's the ballet show. Do you know?
I think it's like I've never. Okay, look, I don't even remember the Nutcracker. I think I saw it when I was little, like once. I just know it's really popular. But isn't it all of it? It's all ballet though, right?
I think so. I think that's the only way it's done. Yeah.
And they do it for a couple of weeks, and it's very popular down here. I know they didn't do it because of COVID last December and the December before that, but
hmm
I hope they do it this year. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, go and see it if you get the chance. Like I said, like theater plays they have something extra to give, especially
Yeah,
now.
and it's
Yeah.
live. You can't mess up. It's like they put so much hard work into
Yeah,
it. Like you have
as
to
an actor,
perfect it.
as an actor, you have to memorize all 60 pages of whatever they give you,
Oh wow.
and spit it back out with a little bit of whatever actors do to sell their character. You have to be in character and memorize your lines. So it's a hell of a workout for a mental workout for actors. Yeah, maybe you should
I,
look into that and get part of an acting troupe or something like that, and do some theater stuff. Yeah.
I would love to do that. I know that I have some friends that were theater actors and they tried to get into film acting, and they were talking about how different it is, like the switch, and it was actually difficult for them to break out of their theater acting into film acting because all the habits, everything they learned from theater acting, they were bringing to film acting, but it wasn't the same. That's the only reason I would be scared to do it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll bring habits onto there that I shouldn't be doing. But I was in
It's
some
interesting.
musicals when I was younger, and I had a lot of fun doing them. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to remember
Yeah.
everything. Even dancing, if you're dancing, you got to remember the choreography. Got
Yeah.
to remember the music, the timing, when to come in. That all plays a part. And I don't think people talk about that enough. They talk about film actors a lot, but like you get to restart your scene most of the time. You can redo it. You can change it up.
Yeah, in between takes, you're reviewing the script and memorizing
Yeah.
your next lines and getting it in your mind. And yeah, it's a whole different world in theater. It would be fun to kind of research that and say, which way is easier, going from theater to film production or going from film production to theater?
I've heard, I believe I've heard people in my class that have gone from theater to film. They've said that it would be easier to go from film to theater. I guess maybe, and I don't practice theater, I don't act theater, so,
No worries.
I don't exactly know what kind of training goes into that, but it's theatrical acting. You exaggerate a lot more. And in filming, you're mostly just talking, you're doing your emotions. And I feel like that's almost harder to do than being theatrical, in my opinion.
I hear that. Yeah.
But it also
I can
varies
see
how
that.
you look at it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the case. Yeah, I think just having I guess it's like classical training in theater, and just having that muscle of memorizing ridiculous amounts of lines over and over again. I think it would just be an easy jump to film because you would be able to, just memorize the script, and you would spend less time, looking at the script or reviewing it, and more time just kind of getting into your lines and getting into the talk of the lines,
Right. I think when it comes to like memorizing, that would be easy. I think what would be hard is the theatrical acting, like bringing it down to a very natural, like film level kind of acting. I don't know. I kind of want to give it a try now that you're talking about it. It sounds fun.
So give it a shot. In my opinion, in day-to-day life, I think we do a little bit of acting, whether we realize it or not. If you got a job in customer service, you're acting like somebody who likes customers when they scream.
Oh, yeah. I used to work at bars and restaurants.
If you work in retail. If you work in retail, that's like the best training you could ever get for, horror movies. You think so?
Yeah, well, I worked at a bar, and it wasn't like a Hooters or anything, but it was like a family. I wouldn't even say family friendly, but it was all girls, and guys. They like to go have females serve them, and a lot of times they want you to flirt with them, and you don't want to flirt with them. You don't want to be nice to them. A lot of times, you just want them to tip you. You just want to give them their food and tip me and leave. And a lot of times. They're like, can I get your number? Can I follow you on social media? Can I take you on a date? And you're like, oh, I don't have social media. Oh, I'm a lesbian.
I don't have a life.
I'm not a lesbian, but you make up make up something so that leave you alone.
How bad did that guy look that you said you're a lesbian?
I've told that a few times. And maybe that's why I like acting now. I don't know.
Because they believed you? Or they just...
Yeah, they do. And
there was probably a little bit more insight there. If the guy knew what he was doing, he probably just realized that was a rejection. Like, didn't even register what you said. It was a no, but it was like a cloud no. That's like, fitting in a way.
You just got to say something so they leave you alone and go away. You can't be mean either. You're going to get fired. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pressure. That's pressure. Yeah, I always get a kick out of like higher tiered restaurants and places where, if you've been a server, if you've worked in the restaurant world, you kind of know that this server is talking crap about everybody in the back for no reason. For no reason. You walk into a restaurant, sit down, and if you order something, they'll go in the back and be like, "This motherfucker," like. What? Yeah. What do you do? You ordered the chicken. I just don't like chicken today.
He's gluten free. Who the hell is what's gluten? What is gluten? Is that even a thing?
So like working in restaurants and then sitting down at a restaurant, you kind of know too much. So like I feel like people who have, from an acting standpoint, who have seen both sides will come in and they'll act in a way that a server will be cool with. Like, just like give us the food, like we'll tell you exactly what we want and just be like matter of fact about it, no stupid questions, things like that.
That's how I am. I'm like, I came here for this is what I want, and then I want to check out.
Exactly.
And if you do that, I will leave you a nice tip. That's all I want.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like asking about, the city or where should we go? Want to take a selfie of us?
Oh my God. No, that's the worst.
Well, what are some horror stories from your life as a, serving in that bar? You got any fun stories besides like that ugly ass guy that you had to like say you're lesbian? 90% sure he was like probably pretty hard on the eyes, as they say.
I've been in the bathroom before because you're running around for 16 hours. You finally want to use the restroom, and you're like, all right, gotta pee. I've had drunk customers come in the girls' restroom, like men, open my stall, like just barge it open, and then they just look at you. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out! Like, leave. Or I had all
That's
these.
terrifying. That's a
And keep in
lawsuit right
mind,
there.
this is kind of a family friendly restaurant, except it doesn't make any sense. It's all girl waitresses, but we're wearing like t-shirts and like jeans. It's not like a Hooters, but for some reason, men would treat it like it was like, well, not even Hooters people should be treated like that, but they treat it like we're like prostitutes or something. Like,
they don't take much.
They can buy us.
Much.
Like yeah, and I remember I was serving one guy and he was really drunk, but he would come up and he would like, can you give me a hug? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give you a hug. Yeah. And he would start kissing my neck. And I would go in and I would be like, did y'all just see this shit? Like, are you serious? And like, I can't say anything because like, I'm going to get fired. I got rent to pay. Like, I can't be mean to him.
Yeah.
And he kept doing that every time I was bringing him his food. And I was like, this dude better leave a fat tip. He better leave me alone after this. Never talk to me again.
Yeah.
Just
he better buy you a new car.
And I remember his tip, he was talking up and down how he had this and this. But when it came to tipping, you can tell he was lying. It was not even like 10% of the bill. Yeah. Like, come on.
You should have grabbed a hot frying pan from the back and like threw it at him, like that scene in The Punisher. You know, take that like that hot spaghetti and just fling it in his face.
Yeah, I was 19, so I was more shy. Like me at 23 now, I don't think I would have been patient. I would just been like, "What's wrong with you? Like, get out of here!" But you know, I think I was so shy at 19 that like I wouldn't have said anything. And I needed money, so to get through college.
Yeah, that's a terrifying situation. That's like, I kind of feel bad about laughing about that. You're over it now, yeah.
It's funny. It's like you laugh at your traumatic events.
Yeah, that's intense. That's intense. We just like, I don't know. There's been some like cougars that like will call me honey, but that's nowhere near close, and it gets a little annoying after a while. It's like, no, not even a slight chance. Like, go away.
And if you're dating someone, you're just like, I'm gonna get my girlfriend or my boyfriend all up on you if you don't be quiet. I remember I was
go at him with the boyfriend thing.
Well, because I was dating someone at that time, and I remember they would come eat at the restaurant often, and they would see. They're like, do you not see everyone flirting with you? I'm like, yes, I do. I can't do anything about it. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, this is my job.
It's customer service.
It's to be nice, to be fake. Like, that's my job.
So you are a good actor. You had the acting chops since then, because you know you're getting hit by this different energy. You should have called the cops, honestly. Like, no job is worth that. Like, you could have been a millionaire by now with stories like that. Like the bathroom thing. Oh yeah.
Oh, now today I'll chase that bag.
Turn on your camera and sue that guy. Oh yeah, 100%. The amount of momentum you have behind that was. I don't know when Me Too started, but you could have started it if it hadn't started already.
Yeah, no, Me Today will definitely.
That's way worse than just like, you know, servers don't even get paid much. You make all your money on tips anyways. So I guess that was part of the the issue is like they better leave me a huge tip, because they just, you know, it's either sue them, lose my job, or they give me a tip that's 5% extra. Like, don't lower yourself to that.
Well, I'm glad I'm out of that industry, because.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
It sounds like it. Yeah, that sounds like it's not fun. And then you have to go back every day. Nah.
Very stressful.
Yeah.
It is stressful. I mean, a lot of things like acting can be very stressful, but it's like a good kind of stressful, you know. It's worth it stressful.
Yeah. Yeah. You still might get some weird guys. But not on the smaller sets. It shouldn't be like that on smaller sets where everybody has barely any idea what they're doing.
Everyone's just like, how do I turn this camera on? Is it
Yeah.
plugged in?
Yeah.
I mean, when I play guitar, sometimes I'm like, why isn't my guitar working? I'm like, oh, it's not even plugged in. I'm like, oh, there's that.
I've
I
done
would be
that
a great
before.
rock star.
What are your aspirations with the guitar? Do you have it? Do you have your guitar right now? Can we
I
see it?
don't. I'm dog sitting,
Ah.
so this isn't
Okay.
even my house. I'm
Oh,
staying
really?
at this house.
I
Yeah.
thought you were a football fan and you know.
No, I'm a soccer fan. I'm not really a football fan, but
Oh,
um,
your background says different. Oh,
right? No, it's not my room. But
gotcha.
guitar, I would love to have my own girl band, and
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. I think the hardest thing is though finding girls around my age that play drums, that play bass, like that can also play guitar. I haven't had any luck. I've had good luck with
Well, you
like
gotta
social
look.
media.
Gotta look out there, man.
Yeah,
You-
I've had
you
good luck
get-
with social media. Like people seeing my videos, following me. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's a little over 4,000 followers, but that was just from like in the past 6 months. Like I just started posting videos and using hashtags, and my follower count went up. And I think it sounds bad. I do think a lot of it has to do with because I'm a girl, and I think there's just so many guys
Yep.
on social media playing guitar, making the same covers that when they see girls do it, I guess it's a little bit different. And I mean, I don't mind it. It's a good kind of different. It got me a lot of opportunities. A lot of musicians have seen my covers, like The Offspring. They've shared a few of my covers on their story.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wheatus, the guy who sings Teenage Dirtbag, I did a cover of that. He shared it to his story. So I guess, people also saw that and they started
Yeah.
following me. It's funny because I went to the Green Day concert like 2 weeks ago, and I held up a sign.
Punk legends.
Right, and I held up a sign. I have a picture of it. I was like, I play guitar, put me on the stage, and it covered all of Minute Maid on the TVs for like a minute, and everyone saw me. And I guess I didn't know I had friends at this concert, and they took pictures. They were like, "Is this you on screen?" I was like, "Yeah." And so you can like Billy Joe's like rocking out his guitar, and I'm on the big screen right next to him, holding a sign, like smiling.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You're on the track. You're gonna be picked up in some way, and in a good way, and put on stage. I could just see it.
Yeah, I see like certain actors. Like there's one. His name's Dylan Minnette. He plays. I don't know if you know who that is. He plays Clay in like 13 Reasons Why. He's
I haven't seen that, but I know I know the gist of it. It's like a teen.
Yeah, it's like a teen drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's the main character in there. He's in a lot of different movies too. But he also has his own band, the Wallows.
Really?
They're very, very popular, and that's something I would want to do. I would also want to be an actor and musician. It's like he goes back and forth. He films, he goes on tour. He films, he goes on tour. And that's something I would want to do. And I've only been playing guitar for like 3 years. I just started acting like in the past 2 years. And I feel like just for that amount of time, I have accomplished quite a bit. I mean, maybe not at the point where I want to, but for someone who's fairly new to everything, I've done a lot so far. So I can only think in the next 2 years, like, what else can I do? What else is there to do? Like, I'm excited.
You should make a movie about a high school band, and the school is going to close down, and there's this contest to win $50,000, and your little high school band has to play in this contest to win the $50,000 to save the school from closing.
Kind of like a music school, like a school of rock kind of deal.
Yeah, pretty much that exactly. But you just make a new way, a new age version of it. You'll be the lead actor of it. Yeah, that movie is like 30 years old now. I feel old just saying that.
I definitely want to do a horror movie. I think, seeing all Wes Craven's movies, I watched a lot of behind the scenes with like the actors in Scream and saw how much fun they had making those movies. And I like, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Ari Aster.
Okay, it doesn't ring a bell.
He made. I was talking about this with Blake earlier. Midsommar. Have you seen that? People say it differently.
Yes.
Midsommar.
I've seen that. I saw that movie in theaters.
Yeah,
that was a trip. Holy nuts! That movie is insane.
Yeah, he made Hereditary.
That's another really intense movie. So is the same guy that made both of those?
Yeah, he made that, and then he made, what else did he make? He makes a lot of shorter horror films. They're on YouTube, but they're crazy. Like, they're different. And I think he's just so unique and different that, like, he inspires me to want to make my own stuff and become that creative just because he's so creative himself.
Yeah, both of those movies are incredible.
I actually have another idea for a horror film you can make. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but something. But why don't you make a horror film about a ghost that haunts a school, and you could call it, and like they're trying to figure out where the ghost came from. Like you could call it where the school ghost came from.
Yeah, like a college or like a high school, like a boarding school.
Like a high school, yeah.
He's saying you could play Daphne in Scooby-Doo. In a Scooby-Doo fan film. I could see that. Yeah, you could be a Daphne character.
I love Daphne. I love Scooby-Doo. Oh, the live-action version is awesome.
It's great, right?
Yeah. I love it. Matthew Lillard. Oh, he's one of my favorite actors.
Is that the Shaggy character, right?
Yeah, he plays Stu.
Yes. He's amazing.
SLC Punk. Yeah. He's in 13 Ghosts, like a lot of movies, a lot of amazing
13 Ghosts is another one I've seen when I was younger. So I love that film. It was one of my favorite films.
Oh, yeah. He's so good. I love him. Yeah. Are you guys working on anything? But I know you're working on your documentary coming out on top with disability. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying? And
coming out on top with disabilities. Yeah. I'm working as a writer on his film. We're going to probably get together and do some pre-production for that at some point. That's definitely conceptual at this point. Would you say, Blake? And we're just getting into the idea of it and how to structure it, but the intention's there, and we got I think you're going to be the lead actor in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to do some voiceover work too.
Perfect.
And I want the camera pointing at me sometimes because I'm going to make an intro and an outro. And I'm also going to need help with funding the film too, because even though I set up a GoFundMe, someone said to me in the group, don't put it out on social media until we have a set budget and until you have everyone in your crew, until you have the script written and everything, sure. until you know exactly what you need to get everyone paid and get the film budgeted and everything. So
you still let people know about it. That's a big part of it, like getting people in a group that you know, and you've been really incredible at doing that. So yeah, coming out on top with disabilities, that's a green light in my mind. I think you just got to find the right people, and they're out there.
I just hope I don't fail at making it or anything.
Hey, you can't fail, because even when all this is done, I think it's not fantastic. But even if you're not satisfied with it, you learn something. Mm-hmm. And that's all you can do is get better. The point is to be better versions of our previous selves. So if you're going towards that goal. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some people don't even make their first documentary or film for like 20 years. Look at you. You're already out here doing it. That's so cool.
Yeah, I've only been making films since 2014, so this is my 7th year.
Yeah, look at dude. You're already
this is going to be a big one too. Is this going to be a feature?
It's going to be a. Francis said, if you can make it under 30 minutes, you can submit it to. I can submit it to his film festival.
I remember him saying that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of documentaries happening right now. Blake came out with this one. I've been working on a documentary. It's called The Clark Jones Story. It's about a good friend of mine named Clark. I met him like mid 2020. We met and just kind of hit it off. We became like best friends like instantly, and I hung out with him a whole bunch. And Clark is a very unique person because he had been living in his truck for almost 2 years. But aside from that, he's an incredibly smart guy, a very, very funny person, and just a really awesome person. And so the story is about his life and about a specific moment during the time I knew him. In about March of this year, he had been chatting in chat rooms and things like that. Online, he just found a way to like get online, and so he'd been in these chat rooms, and he met somebody who knew his situation and offered him free housing, but she lived in Georgia. So he had been talking to her for a couple of months. They hit it off on, like I said, he's an incredibly smart person. He's constantly researching things. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met. But anyways, this girl invites him out, says, hey, I'll give you a room in my new house, and I need a person to do podcasts, blah, 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 blah. And so March 20th, we leave. I go with him because I got to see what this magic ticket out of his situation is. You know, I've never heard of, just getting out of that type of situation overnight. So I go with him. We have this like little road trip. And during the time that we're traveling there, she falls through. It never actually happens. Mm-hmm. So we get there in Atlanta. He spent all of his money to get there, has no way back. He's just got his car, and he has no way to get around that. So the Clark Jones story is about that adventure and what happens at that time and what happens after. And I'm working on the third act of that so far. I got a trailer out, and the full film is going to be out at some point in January 2022.
Oh, cool.
That's amazing. Oh, I got goosebumps hearing about that. What?
It's a big one. It's a big one for me. This is my second documentary.
That sounds really like beautiful and deep and eye-opening. That's so cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the third act part of it, like the resolution part of it, is Clark was able to pick himself back up. He spent the time very quiet, but eventually came back online. And what he started doing is he started changing his life. And so Clark was a little bit well over 400 pounds, living in his truck. Couldn't make the best decisions because his mental health was deteriorating. Mm-hmm. But on this journey, in this big jump to a new place, he made the decision to stop smoking completely, changed his diet, did a whole bunch of research on diet, changed his diet to start eating properly with the right calorie intake and all that stuff, and eating produce and good food. And he goes to the gym, I think, every single day now. And so he's at the library. He's in Colorado now. He's at the library every day, and he's at the gym every day. And just being in this routine of like bettering his life. And yeah, I don't think it could have happened without kind of being in that really daunting situation where there's no way out. It's you got to climb your way out. And so that's what the story is about. And so I aim to have it to be this like uplifting story that reaches out to anybody who is either already done some sort of jump like that or is about to and not sure if they should. Do it. Make that jump. Whatever you're thinking to do it.
I'm so excited for that. Whenever, you post more info publicly about it, I'd love to like share it and tell everyone about it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll send you along Blake's information, and I got a page and a trailer and all that good stuff on online. And like I said, this is my second documentary. The first one was about my friend Chris, who changed their gender to Kaylin. And the documentary, I started recording, and just because he was an amazing person just by itself before any of that. So I decided I was just already making a documentary about them. And so he started going through this change to being this completely different person. And I just happened to be recording during these couple of weeks when it was happening. And so at that same time, there was a lot of turbulence in both of our lives. And so the story is about his life and this huge change that's going through his life, and how, and the kind of the underlying subtext of it is these two friends, because he's one of my best friends. We just separated. We just went down different paths. You know, you can be like two peas in a pod, and then, you know, you just kind of make different decisions in life. And this was that point for us where we just kind of went different directions. So like the film itself has a tone of like loss, has a tone of, you know, best friends. It hits all those notes, but it's also, you know, about that, slightly about, you know, somebody becoming a different gender identity, which it's real. That's real. Let me tell you.
You're working on big things. That's so cool.
Yeah, that one's already out. That one's already out and up online.
Oh, that's out online. Oh.
Yeah, that's all set up and online.
Send that to me so I can check it out. Like maybe even tonight. I kind of want to look at it.
Yeah, go for it. I can link you up. The trailer and that film are on the same channel, so I just put it up on YouTube, just to have something that I can, you know, that I can say I did and I'm really proud of, because it's important to have something like that and put together an actor reel or a demo reel or make a film or something like that, and just have something that you can do yourself. Yeah.
And I wanted to give a shout out to Corey too, but he actually did a film back in 2019 that actually got put on Netflix. It's called You Are My Home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you worked on that, Corey?
I did. I was best boy grip on a film, called You Are My Home. And it's I think it's still on Netflix. But yeah, great film
too. You guys are just doing really big stuff. What the heck?
You're invited. This isn't a separation. This isn't us doing things and you over there. No, we're all in the same boat.
Heck yeah. Oh, I will have to be going soon just because my acting class. Well, I have my acting class every Monday, but my partners are ready to practice soon. But I had a lot of fun talking. I definitely want to come back. I do have some stuff that I'm filming for coming up, like a few different short films. They don't have titles or anything. I mean, they have plots. One's like a horror movie one. I'm actually a bridesmaid, so I'm like one of the main characters.
Cool.
I have a lot of stuff coming up. I heard Austin is also, they have Netflix and HBO coming out there.
Yep.
And having auditions.
There's a couple of miniseries recruiting right now.
I'm going to be looking up that, and hopefully something good comes out of it.
Absolutely. Where are you coming from right now? Where are you?
Houston.
Okay, so you're in Houston?
Mm-hmm. Well, my sister lives in Austin, so often I use her address for things and
gotcha.
Get around it. Yeah.
Well, for any of those short films that are coming out, if they need any crew, be sure to send them our way.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they have crew. I'll talk to them so you guys can get on that.
All right.
Somebody.
Yeah, at the very least, tell them they can come on the industry podcast and have their project shouted out.
Yeah.
Anything and everything. Follow Kristen Cole on social media on Instagram. She's an amazing personality online as a guitarist, and just an awesome all around person to hang out with. And hire Kristen to be
Yeah.
Be an actor too in your independent film. Sounds like your schedule's getting
Absolutely.
pretty full.
I'll tell my classmates
Hire
they can
her
come on
soon.
here too. They've actually done more than I have, so you might get a lot out of them if you want to talk to them.
Yeah, come on out. The industry podcast comes out tomorrow at 7 a.m. So this show will actually be out tomorrow at 7 a.m. So yeah, if you have classes this week or whenever, feel free to share this when it comes out. And people watching this, it already is Monday or thereafter. So hello people from the future, welcome. Yeah. Blake, do you have anything to add?
No, I think I've already said everything I
No,
wanted to
thank
say.
you. You
but
guys
it was,
have a really cool podcast. I'm excited
it was quite
to share
an honor
it and
having you,
have everyone
Kristen.
watch it. So cool. Heck yeah.
Yeah, of course. You're episode 18. We should include that in the intro, by
It's
the way.
gonna be
We
our
should
favorite
say, hey, this is
episode.
episode whatever.
Yeah, that was
It's a good
cool.
idea. But thank you so much.
I had a lot of fun.
Best
Thank you guys so
episode.
much.
Hello, featured video on the channel.
Have a good day.
Come on. Oh.
Bye.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you, Kristen.
you. You too.